Grant Miller here, Miami Community News. I'm with Alan Morris, the developer, Coral Gables developer. How long you been living in Miami?
I am a native, believe it or not. They're going to put me in a museum for observation, I think.
You born and raised?
Born in Coral Gables in Doctor's Hospital. Grew up here all my life.
What high school did you go to?
I went to, when it was then a junior high, I went to Ponce de Leon Junior High School.
Great.
And then I went off to a military school in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
For high school?
Yeah, for high school.
Your parents knew something about you.
Yes, I was a behavior problem from the beginning.
From the beginning. Which military school?
The Macaulay School in Chattanooga.
And you came back?
And then came back and then went to Georgia Tech in Atlanta and then Harvard Business School.
And you went to Harvard. You know, some people say, I got to Harvard. You stayed there. You lived there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
pretty exciting.
Georgia Tech was a real challenge. That was stretched me good. It's a great school. Since then, I've now agreed to go on the board of trustees, which I am at Georgia Tech.
You're on the board. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Alan Morris Company.
Sure.
Family business. Family business.
Yes.
How long it's been in the family?
64 years.
Wow.
My father started it in 1958, and I took over in 1980 at the ripe old age of 28.
And what do you guys develop? Everything, anything?
Well, we started off developing office buildings and shopping centers, and now we develop office buildings and multifamily apartments and condominiums and hotels and mixed-use projects with retail. So
Everywhere?
We do most of everything. We're developing in Miami and Orlando and Sarasota and Atlanta, and actually breaking ground on new hotels in Boise, Idaho, and in
where?
Boise, Idaho, and in St. George, Utah.
Is there traffic lights in those towns?
Yes, there's two.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, anytime. Okay, you're a little conservative today. Usually you wear a white jacket, white pants. What's up with this?
I'm casual today.
Okay. So this is the book right here. I read the title, All in One, but How to Risk Everything for Everything That Matters.
Yes.
I don't know what the book's about, but just in that title, knowing you, it's got to be exciting.
Well, it's a pretty exciting ride, actually.
Well, tell us a little bit about it.
Well, we call it All In because
Who's we?
I call it All In, and the men that have been involved in our work, in our journey together. We've hosted forums and retreats for the last 22 years down here. And frankly, I was looking for property in South Dade to create a retreat center for executives and other leaders.
I got a place. We got a great place, 62 Avenue. Great retreat.
And
What's
we
South
ran
Dade
into
to you?
roadblocks at each way we tried to start the retreat center. And my wife said to me one day, "Why are you building a retreat center to help hundreds of men when you could write a book and maybe help millions of men?" And so I realized, as she always is, she was right. That's right. And so during COVID, I realized this is my chance to do it. So I poured in something I'd been thinking about for 20 years and finally sat down and did the work to write the book.
You have a writer on the bottom. Who's this?
John Townsend wrote the foreword of the book. He's a well-known psychologist who wrote the book Boundaries and 30 other books. He's got about 30 million books in circulation.
Oh, you do have photographs in here. Good.
I sent Dr. Townsend, he had asked me if I'd send him the manuscript when I told him I had written the book. And he read it and said, this book needs to be published. This would help many, many men. And I'd be willing to write the foreword. I said, wow, if you would write the foreword, I'd be very grateful. So he did. And he's a superb. He's from California. Laguna Beach, California is where he's based. And but his books are everywhere. Dr. John Townsend.
Why did you call it All in One?
All In. We call it All In because really we talk about, and I talk about in the book, the journey of looking into the truth about our own lives and looking at the pain we may carry in our lives and the wounds that we may carry in our lives, the hurts that we may have experienced over the past. So it's looking all in to our lives. And because this journey is not a casual journey, but is a real commitment, like anything really important in life, it requires a big commitment. And that requires you to go all in to the journey. So it means both things.
You call it, I call it battle scars.
Yeah, battle scars is a good word.
We all have them. Even if you're raised in perfect this or not,
Yeah,
we have some type of scars. Question is, do they heal?
yeah.
And they never heal completely.
Well, what happens to a lot of men that I know and myself is when we have a battle scar, when we have a trauma in our life, or we have a hurtful experience from our past, we'll oftentimes say, well, that was in the past. I dealt with that. And you put it in your backpack. You put it in the past.
You think you do.
But it's still there in the backpack that you're carrying around. And I came to discover through my own pain and experiences that things that I thought were in the past were very much in my present. And things from my childhood, things from my young adult life that I thought were in my past were affecting everything in my life today, until I came to a point where I was having severe headaches. And
you didn't know why you were getting headaches.
I didn't know. They were like 24-hour a day severe headaches. I went to the hospital. Went to meet with the head of neurosurgery at the hospital, and he gave me a long interview. And he said, "Well, Alan, with your symptoms, you've got a brain tumor. So let's do the MRI and let's see where your tumor is, and then we'll know what our options are."
So let me give you
That was my wake-up call.
Yes. So I used to get sick between Thanksgiving and Christmas. I don't know, 7, 8 years. Sick.
Yeah.
Done from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Finally, that battle scar, I realized what that battle scar is.
What was it?
My mother died.
Yes.
And she wasn't around Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Yes.
And I didn't know what it was. I just get sick.
Yeah.
I catch cold easily.
Yeah.
But so that's a battle scar.
That is a great example.
Right. And
Yeah.
I didn't know this until, I don't know, from 21 to 29. And so that's my battle scar. We all have them. So
Yeah.
that's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Give me one of your battle scars.
Well, one of mine was when I was sent away to military school when I was 14 years old in another state. And my parents loved me and they didn't abandon me. But to me, it felt like I was abandoned, to be all alone, living in a dorm, wearing a uniform, drilling and studying late into the night.
Did it help years later?
Oh, it helped me enormously. It was enormous. I never could have gotten through Georgia Tech or Harvard Business School without the intense education and training I got at Macaulay, I think. But that was one of those things that the experience and the loneliness of being away at school at that young age really made an impact on me. And I felt like, well, I wasn't seen by my father and mother, and they never came to visit me at school. And so I kind of felt like I had to do something because my father was really important, and I had to do something to be worthy for him to notice me. And so that drove me to one achievement after another achievement after another achievement. And I built a pretty big business and did a lot of things in the community. And I never realized how important that abandonment wound was to me. And we all have different wounds like that, injuries or battle scars, as you say. And those are the battle scars that make a difference in our life and sometimes drive us in ways that we don't know how they're driving us and how they're affecting relationships that are not working in our life, where we've lost the passion for our profession or our job, or where we having problems and conflicts with our spouse or with our children, or with our friends, or we don't have friends and we don't know why. All these things can be really related to a lot of things that happened in our childhood and that we may not even be aware of.
I have battle scars. I was the fourth boy.
Yeah.
So my brothers used to knock on the door. Mommy, can Grant come out to play? We need a target practice. Mommy, we need a second base.
Right.
Mommy, we need a step on some. So years later, people used to beat me up. I said, that's all you got? Hit me harder. That doesn't hurt. So
Yeah.
how to risk everything for everything that matters.
Yeah.
I love it. Tell me about that.
Well, actually, when we take the courage to look into the truth about our own life, that can seem like a really risky thing. It can feel really risky. And because what we're doing is getting our life back, getting our joy back, getting our passion back, reconnecting with the things we're passionate about, and then getting clarity about our life calling. That's everything that matters. And restoring relationships. That's everything
Give
that
me an
matters.
example in your life.
Well, in my own life, I would say I had lost all passion for my business. We had developed.
At what era? What years?
Well, in this time, I was 47 years old. And this is when I started having the headaches. And I had lost all passion for my business. We developed 78 office buildings and shopping centers around Florida and Georgia. And I was happy to just close the company and do nothing more. If I had to build one more of those efficient boxes, I would just die. I just wouldn't do it. And I realized in my case, as I started doing my inner journey, that I needed to rethink my own personal life mission, and in the process, rethink my whole company's life mission. And we changed the mission statement of our company together with our leadership team to 3 simple words: inspire, impress, and improve. We wouldn't develop a project unless it truly inspired us, unless we knew that it would impress people with a great experience, and that it would improve the lives of everyone we touch. In whether it's the people that live in the building or work in the building, or whether they're in the neighborhood around it or in the community around it. And just changing our mission statement to be all about serving other people touched me deeply. And I realized that's what I wanted my life to be. And that reinvigorated my whole passion as a leader. And it reinvigorated the leadership team of my company and brought in more really talented, passionate people into our company as we've grown the company to 20 times it was then.
There's hundreds of leadership books. There's
Yes.
a lot of self-help books.
Yes.
I mean, you read, you see them all the time.
Right.
You would go on a plane, you read it, and you go, that didn't help me. Why's your book going to be different?
Well, I've never seen a leadership book like this. It's really a book about how leaders can find themselves, rather than giving them 3 simple processes or 10 great rules to be a great leader. It's about discovering the power within you and discovering what's holding you back, whether it's a childhood experience or injuries from the past. And, I've had a lot of things. We all find ourselves getting in the weeds in our life at different times in our life. Every leader does. Every person does who aspires to be a leader. And I had some, pretty traumatic things happen to me. And those have turned out to be wonderful fertilizer to help me grow, in a sense, and blossom internally.
You have this thing, what's called risk everything.
Yes.
Before you answer that, I want to know day-to-day lies. Have you ever built a project and it just didn't make, and you felt you're on the bottom and go, what am I doing? I lost almost everything. Has that happened?
Oh yeah. Well, it happened to me. It happened to me when we proposed a big project that never got approved. After we won the RFP in Coral Gables.
The parking.
It was Coral Gables City Center. It was an office building, a city garage, an intermodal center,
the one on,
and apartment building. Yeah.
I think there's only one person supported it. Community newspaper supported that idea.
Yeah.
And you put a lot of money out.
Yeah, we spent a huge amount of money in 6 years of our lives.
You can't make that up. You can't respond. You can't get 6 years back.
No.
So you're saying about risk everything. Like in day to day, what do you mean by this?
In day to day, I would say the biggest thing is to risk looking at the truth about ourselves. For me, looking at the truth about myself and asking, wait a minute, you're saying that you see something in me that I don't see. Maybe I have a blind spot. Am I going to respond defensively and with anger, or just shut it out? Or am I going to respond with curiosity? Grant, not long ago, I was backing out of the garage at my home. And like I've done 1,000 times, looked in the rearview mirror. I looked out the side mirror. I was in a hurry. I needed to go, stepped on the gas, and heard this horrible screeching sound of metal on metal all the way down the side of my car. I thought, oh no. who would park their car right there behind my garage?
Right.
And then I thought, how is it possible for me not to see something the size of a car only 10 feet away? It was in my blind spot. And how do I not see things in my life that may be the size of a car, but I don't see it because it's in my blind spot?
Do we all? In your book, do you talk about that?
All of us do.
And I
Yeah.
believe we all have a blind spot.
We all have many blind spots. At least I have many blind spots, and I believe that all of us do. And they're things that oftentimes are just outside of our awareness. And we can be very educated, we can be very intelligent, we can be very driven, we can be very successful, and yet have these blind spots in our lives that are sabotaging our relationships, our business, our profession, our present and our future are all in our blind spots. And the famous psychologist Carl Jung used to describe it as the shadow, that we have a shadow in our lives, and we're only conscious of maybe 10% of our life, and 90% of our self is in the shadow. And that 90% is so huge, it always wins.
Again, I believe everybody has a blind spot.
Yeah.
We don't know what it is.
Yes.
Okay. Secret inner life. What do you mean by that?
Well, everybody has a secret inner life. I believe that part of that secret inner life is like this shadow, like this blind spot, where we may have areas that we carry in our lives that we're really worried about, that we're anxious about, that we're fearful about. But we maintain our persona on the outside, that we've got it all together. We're very successful.
I got it. I just asked me. I got it together. Just ask me. And we all
Right.
think we do, but we have a blind spot slowing us down.
That's right. That's right. And that secret inner life is the real person behind the mask that we wear every day. And it's not bad to have a bit of a mask every day. That's our persona in order to do our job and to put on a happy face. And that's not bad. But what can happen over time is we can live in our persona so much that other people don't really get to know who we truly are, the real us, the real me. And not only that, but we begin to lose track of who we are ourselves because we live in our persona, in our image, our public image so much. My uncle was the editor of Variety magazine.
Wow.
In Hollywood. And in Hollywood, they had a phrase that is pretty awful, but pretty true. And that is that celebrity is a mask that eats away your face. Horrible thought to think about it, but you wear that mask long enough and it eats away your face so you don't even know who you really are anymore.
I'm pretty lucky in our industry. We are who we are. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I am who I am most of the time. And,
Yes.
In your industry, you are it, but we still have that little shadow,
Yeah.
that blind spot. But a lot of people have that mask. They go to work.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, I got to tell you the story. It has nothing to do with anything, but it's a great story. He's much older. His first name's Frank, and he says, "Do you like your job?" I said, "I love what I do." I said, "It's not a job; it's a career." He says, "I went to work every day, counted every penny. Went to work for 30 years. When I retired, I made enough money. I don't have to work again." He said, "But I wasted 30 years of my life because like you're saying, he put that mask on
Yeah.
to retire, but he did not enjoy his 30 years because he had that mask on.
Yeah.
That wasn't what he wanted to be."
That is a great, sad story.
Right, exactly. A sad story. He said, "I wasted 30." He was the CEO of a major company. He said, "I wasted 30 years because I was so hurried to retire. I wasted my life."
Yeah.
And he had that shadow or blind spot. And so I
Yeah.
tell people, do what you love because life
That's
goes
right.
by fast.
And what happened to me, Grant, is I lost track of what I loved. I was so busy doing what I could do well that I lost my passion and love for what I did. And I realized I had to go into my own life to find myself and to go all in, to take that risk, and in the process, reconnect with my passion and my joy. And now what we do in our business is so exciting. And I'm so excited and so passionate about it because every single building we build is something that inspires me and inspires our team. And I've determined that if we don't win at least one award for every building we build, then we failed.
Wow.
And so, well, Alhambra Towers in Coral Gables is the only building I know in Florida which has won 10 awards. And that's our headquarters building in Coral Gables, Alhambra Towers.
Now, that is, what else is in your building? You have tenants?
Yes, we have other tenants in
You
the
have
building,
law
other
firm?
companies. We have law firms, and we
Becker.
have Becker and
Okay,
Poliakoff
just
is
wanna
one
make
of
sure
the
what
firms.
building it is.
Yes. And we're getting ready to put a new, very exciting restaurant on the ground floor.
What?
It's called 130 Grados, 130 degrees.
And
It's
who's the
a
chef?
Mexican steakhouse,
Oh, wow.
and it is extraordinary. I went down to Merida, Mexico, and visited all their restaurants down there, and it's the #1 rated restaurant down there, and they're bringing it into Miami, into Coral Gables, into our ground floor of our building, and we're going to have a covered terrace out in front of the building, so you can dine al fresco by the fountain, and there's nothing like it
Beautiful.
that I know of in Miami.
We just discussed this, but let's review it again.
Sure.
Life purpose. How do we know our first step to discovering our life purpose?
Well, I think the way we start in reconnecting or connecting for the first time with our life purpose is to reconnect with what gives us joy, what our passion is. Because when we start to get free of the burdens and the wounds and the pain that we're carrying in our life and begin to discover what's causing that in our life, it gives us a new sense of freedom so that we can then become playful again.
But how do we find that? I mean, some people are just unhappy. They,
Yeah.
the parents are unhappy, so they're unhappy. I have to be unhappy. How do we discover that? How
Well,
do you
I think
discover it?
you said it already. I think you said their parents are unhappy, they're unhappy. And a lot of us have grown up with things that have wounded us like that, where our parents were unhappy. And so we learned how to be unhappy from our parents. So we can go back and look at our childhood and say, I can unlearn that. And I can learn instead that I don't deserve to be miserable, but I have the privilege and the opportunity to enjoy life and to enjoy each day and choose to do that. And that's reprogramming some of those old tapes.
I like that word reprogramming because it's hard to break it, and if it's got to keep in your head. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. Like right?
Yeah.
Like reprogramming. How do you discover your life purpose?
Well, part of that was in my journey. The headache started it, and I waited 3 weeks to get an answer from my doctors and the MRI and then the CAT scan. And he came back to me and he said, Alan, I've examined the films myself. I've met with the radiologist, and your brain tumor is not there. I said, well, then why are you calling it my brain tumor if it's not there? He said, I can give you muscle relaxants and beta blockers and pain meds so that you won't be in any pain. I said, really? Is that the best you got? He said, I don't know what else to tell you. He says, okay, well, I'll take the prescriptions and I may take the meds, but I've got to figure out if there's no physical cause for these severe headaches, I must be causing them myself. And so I said, I'm going to do something really radical, outrageous, but I felt like my life was at stake. I said, I'm going to hire a former executive to come into my company and to act as the managing director. And I'm going to take a sabbatical for 3 months and work with a counselor and a coach. And I'm going to try to get to the bottom of this, how I'm causing these headaches myself, because I must be the one causing it. And I didn't know how. I didn't know why. I had no idea. But I knew it really, really hurt. And being the educated person that I am, I've discovered that the things I really learned from more than anything else is pain. And so I was ready to learn because the pain was so great.
Wow. In your book, you talk about freedom. How do you find freedom? Is that the way you found freedom?
Yeah, that's where the freedom came from.
And how do other people find it?
And what we do in the retreats that we do and what I describe in the book is invariably, when we invite men to one of our small 3-day retreats, small group 3-day retreats, the number one thing they say is, I can't believe the freedom I feel. So it's not far away, Grant. It's very close to us, but we need to be in a safe, confidential space with other safe, confidential people where we can be real and hear other people be real.
In the Catholic religion, they have what do they call it, Mass?
Yes.
This is almost like a Mass, but based on life and business, not about God.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't. I haven't read the whole book. But this is more interesting because most business leaders want to hear this. They want to know what's wrong with me. What's wrong with me?
Yeah. And often what the burdens they're carrying are the same burdens that each of their senior executives are carrying and each of their employees and workers are carrying. We're all in this together. This is not just for big shots. This is not just for CEOs. It's for everybody. And that's what we want to try to do, is make this available to as many people as possible. And that's why I wrote the book. And we also have resources along with the book on our website online. As people read the book, we have questions that people can explore personally at the end of each chapter, and even a discussion guide, a reader's guide for small groups to use and discuss in this journey.
You talked about in the book, you turned your passion into a purpose.
Yes.
Now your company has a motto, 3 words. What
Yes.
are those?
Inspire, impress, and improve. We want to inspire people with the beauty of our projects, impress them with the excellence of their experience, and improve the lives of everyone we touch.
So your
That turns me on.
Those 3 things you can put on any business.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be your business.
Yes.
Next week in the Coral Gables News, you might have those 3 words on top.
I did trademark it.
hey, whoever's on the other side of the camera, he didn't trademark it. How do you trademark 3 words?
I don't know, but my lawyer did it.
I'm gonna speak to your lawyer. But it's a great, I call it a quote. Inspire people, inspire everybody.
Yeah.
So how do you become unstuck? We all get in a rut.
Yes. I think the first thing for me was to go into the truth about my own life with the help of a safe person, a counselor, coach.
When you say safe, what do you mean by safe?
Well, let me put it this way. Because we all have blind spots, we need help seeing things that we don't see. Because by definition, you don't know what you don't know. I can't cut my own hair. I need a haircut right now, but I can't cut my own. I can't cut my own hair because I can't see back there. Now, if I got more education, that wouldn't make me see back there. But if I had a friend who was a safe friend, because he's got a razor in his hand,
right,
or sharp scissors in his hand,
right,
I could trust him to cut my hair for me. It's as simple as that. And so whether it's with a counselor or a wise, safe friend or a coach, to be able to have someone observe your life. For instance, one of the things that happened to me, Grant, was I was talking to my coach one day, and I said, we were talking about flying. And when I was a student at Georgia Tech, I had been in the Georgia Tech Flying Club, and I loved to fly. I'd had actually a catastrophic plane crash after an engine failure that I describe in chapter 5 of the book. If anybody's interested in exciting stories, that's a pretty exciting story. And so I stopped flying for a while after that. I was building my business. I was raising my children. I didn't have time to fly. And I was talking about airplanes with my coach, and he said, Alan, when you talk about flying, your eyes change. Your skin tone changes. Your voice changes. There's something about flying that's really important to you on some level.
To me, I mean, you're up in the sky. You're like a bird.
It's freedom. To me, it was like the embodiment of freedom. And as a pilot, I had set aside flying because I had more important things to do. And he said, you may want to look back into flying again. And it was like he gave me permission to do something that I passionately loved, but I had stepped away from it because it wasn't serious business It was just something I was passionate about. For some people, that may be playing golf. For some people, it may be stamp collecting. For some people, it may be gardening. For some people, it may be, soccer.
Anything other than their jobs or their career.
Yeah, it's something, whatever it is that they're passionate about, that they get real, just pure joy from, that makes you light up, where you lose track of time when you're doing it because you just love it so much. And I believe everybody has things in their lives like that if they reconnect with them. And oftentimes in the busyness of life, we lose track of the things that are just plain fun and playful to us. And so I became a jet pilot.
A jet pilot.
Yeah.
Do you have a jet?
I did. Our company did have one, and I've flown jets and turboprops and all kinds of airplanes.
Do you still fly?
I still fly, but I don't have. Our company does not have an airplane right now.
So you could.
I'm looking again.
Oh, you could rent one.
You could rent one. Yes, I've done that.
Yeah. We've been talking about men. What about women?
Great question, because some of the greatest leaders in our country and in our businesses are women. But I've written this book specifically talking about men because that's what I know. I don't want to get over my skis saying I'm an expert in women's view of the world.
And it's completely different. The issues that men have and the issues women have, they're both very important. If you can't relate, don't try to relate.
Yeah. What the interesting thing that I found is that as I've shared the principles in this book with a group of women executives, actually 2 months ago, they said, "Wait a minute, we want the book, and we want to retreat for women because we want this." And I said, "Well, we're doing the men now, but we'll do the women soon," because I find that women that are particularly interested in the book, and some of them have written endorsements of book after reading the book, not only does it help them understand the same things they're dealing with in their lives, but it also helps them to understand their men and the men in their lives when they understand the challenges and difficulties and struggles in a man's journey.
Women think their struggles are tough. Men think their struggles are tough, and they're both very tough in their own ways.
Yes.
Of all this experiences, how does it affect your business?
Well, it's actually had an extraordinary effect on our business. Not only has it re-enlivened me and increased my passion for what we do, but it's clarified our vision and our purpose, not just for me, but for all of our people in our company, that we all are a part of not just building buildings that make money, but building buildings that are going to inspire people, hopefully, because if they don't inspire us, can we expect them to inspire other people and to improve the lives of other people? And when we do that, that's exciting. And also because of that, we've gotten excited about doing more and more, and people are asking us to do more and more. The mayor of Orlando has brought us in to do a magnificent new project in downtown Orlando that we've just announced. That'll be the largest development in downtown Orlando in the history of downtown Orlando. It's a 26-story apartment building, a 200,000 square foot office building, a Moxie hotel, a city public-private parking garage. Beautiful, beautiful, innovative project with the next generation buildings. And we're doing the same thing in downtown Atlanta, mixed-use projects.
In downtown Atlanta?
Mm-hmm. In an area called West Midtown Atlanta.
My son lives in right next to Buckhead.
Oh, okay. Yes. And we're building a project in North Atlanta also right now.
When people complain about traffic in Miami, you are misunderstood. Go to Atlanta. That's traffic.
The traffic is really bad. So a lot of people that don't want to have to be in their cars want to live close to where they work. So we're building Class A apartment buildings, Class A plus office buildings, and hotel and amenities and retail and restaurants all together. So you can have your whole circle within walking distance of what you need on a day-to-day basis.
I'm not bad mouthing Atlanta. They do have a great transit program there.
Yeah.
So your business looks like increased a little bit in the last year or two.
Yeah, our business really in the last 10 years, particularly where we've developed projects larger than we've ever built before, more complex than we've ever developed before. And probably our business has grown as a result of this change in vision and passion and direction 20 times over.
You started thinking about this book how long ago?
In the year 2000. All this started in my life in the year 2000. I was 47 years old at the time.
So now it is moving because you're thinking different, correct?
Yeah.
It's quite impressive. So I think I have a couple more questions. What have you learned from your life experience? What's the major things you learned?
Well, I think the major things that I've learned in my life is, and that I describe a lot in the book and in the lives of other leaders in this book, is that I want to be able to make my no and make my yes hell yes. That's what I want to do. I want to do things that I'm passionate about. And when I do things that I'm passionate about and say no to the things that I feel obligated to, but I'm not passionate about, I'll be able to focus on the things where I can really make a difference in my life and other people's lives and in the community. All of that is possible when we're acting out of our passion.
I have to read a quote from Mark. Grant, I feel like you're cheating on me because we do our show together. And Mark also wrote, so proud of you, or my good friend Alan Morris, and then Anna Go Allen, whoever Anna is. So, and then Gina Gio, her nickname's Balance. She talks about that all the time because she's a life coach.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So,
well, this is where a life coach can really be helpful to you. Even if you felt like I've never needed a life coach, but I do have this problem. I'm sitting with this problem. I'm dealing with it all the time, but I'm not making any progress with it. Get some help. Get the help of a good life coach, or get the help of a good counselor.
what's the difference?
Well, a counselor is somebody who is trained and certified as either a psychologist or as a counselor. A life coach has a different package of certifications and qualifications, and both can help depending upon what your issues are that you're wrestling with.
Mike, can you run across the bottom of the line, allinonebook.com?
Yeah.
It was up there earlier.
You can take a look at this website, allinbook.com, and it'll answer a lot of the questions about the book, and also more resources that we're making available free. And also the book, it will be available. It'll be released May 3rd by Simon & Schuster. We'll have a big launch party that people are invited to at the Books and Books in Coral Gables. And we earn absolutely zero from this book. 100% of the proceeds from the sale of this book go to the All In Foundation to help men and make more of these resources available to men's lives. So we get nothing from the book.
Well, I have hundreds of questions, but time's running out. But I got real questions to ask you.
Sure.
Other than your book. So, are you ready?
Shoot, Luke, or drop your gun.
Okay, you live in Coral Gables, right?
I sure do.
Your favorite restaurant you eat fish at? Go. Go.
That I eat fish at? Oh, favorite restaurant I eat fish at? Gosh, what would that be?
You better hurry up. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I would say the Redfish Grill.
Oh, okay. That's Rodney. So, your favorite cowboy and your favorite cowboy movie? Go.
Oh, favorite cowboy movie. Wow. That's a
you're a developer.
Oh, I would say, wait a minute. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Just a minute.
Who's the actor?
Billy Crystal.
With the three guys in the horses. Yeah, I've got what?
Why am I having trouble remembering the name of it?
This is your life.
Right.
Okay. As a kid, who was your superhero?
Oh, Superman.
Okay. Your favorite taco place in Coral Gables?
Oh, favorite taco place in Taco Coyo.
Okay.
On Giralda.
Your favorite place to eat chicken?
Oh, favorite place to eat chicken is I think Tavernia, that's remodeling right now. They have the fabulous chicken mole there.
Your favorite animal? Pet or pet?
Oh, favorite pet?
Or animal. Nate, favorite animal.
Well, favorite animal, I think, is the stag.
Okay.
Majestic.
Your favorite pizza place?
Oh, favorite pizza place. I have to say, I just like Domino's.
Simple guy.
Yeah.
Your favorite sushi place?
Oh, favorite sushi place. That's good. I think Matsuri in Coral Gables.
Huh. Okay. Your favorite hot dog place in Dade County?
Oh, favorite hot dog place in Dade County.
There's only one.
Arbetters.
Arbetters. Dave, Arbetters, and
And in Atlanta, it's the Varsity.
They sell 12,000 hot dogs a day at the Varsity.
Really?
A day.
They are wonderful.
Yeah. Arbetters.
And I never eat hot dogs except when I just can't resist going by the Varsity.
Okay, go by Arbetters.
And Arbetters is the same way.
Wait, you go to Arbetters and you order
best.
a Grant Miller dog. Hey, Dave, give it to him on the house. I have a hot dog named after me.
Excellent.
Okay.
I'll try your dog.
Favorite football team?
Well,
High school, college,
Oh, well,
pro.
I would say, the Dolphins in Miami, and I would say college would be Georgia Tech.
You got to go Georgia.
I got to go Georgia
They still
Tech.
run the most boring offense. Okay. Oh my. Okay.
A man of many hats.
Okay. As a kid, what was your favorite Christmas gift?
Oh, my favorite Christmas gift. I think when I got my bicycle
How old were you?
with training wheels.
How old were you?
I think I was like
12?
I think I was like 6 years old.
Okay.
That was very cool.
What was your favorite gift your wife gave you?
Oh, my favorite gift my wife gave me. She just gave me a birthday present that was outrageous. It's something that I never would have bought for myself, and it's so much fun.
What?
They're dancing shoes, and they got rhinestones. They're covered with
Oh,
rhinestones.
you took dancing classes?
We dance. We love to dance.
Oh, wow. Okay. Last but not least, tell me and the people the magic of the mix of this book. Why people should be reading it.
Because it'll transform your life. It'll transform your life almost like magic, as these truths and these principles have transformed my life and just given me a whole new level of freedom, joy, and eliminated my headaches.
Wow. First of all, I want to thank you for bringing your book to us, but more important, what you do for our community, not Coral Gables, the whole greater, Coral Gables, all Dade County.
You.
Alice Moore's company is a big supporter of everything. So we thank you very
Thank
much.
you. We love Miami.
Yeah, that's right. We love Miami. And everybody, thank you very much. Grant Miller here with Alan Morris.
Thank you.
Go get your book all in one. Thank you. Have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Thank you.